in the heart of Ogoniland, where morning mist drifts like sleeping spirits, where children grow up with the heartbeat of the river in their ears. There was a place where water was more than water. It was memory. It was witness. It was alive. The elders used to say, "The river hears every promise. It keeps every secret. And as long as the Niger Delta flowed, the spirits of the land would watch over those who respected its rhythm." This is the story of two boys who grew into men, and the night the sky split open to test the courage of their hearts. Warm, nostalgic music, sounds of paddles hitting water, before the darkness, before the fire, before the river turned red and strange. There were two boys, Ebi and Kofi. They ran barefoot through the mangroves, splashing in the shallows, laughing at the stories the old fishermen told. Stories of Mami Kalabari, the river guardian who protected children with pure hearts. Stories of giant catfish that carried messages. Stories of spirits who punished greed and rewarded courage. Ebi would sit by the water at sunset and whisper, "River, what do you see today?" Kofi always teased him, "Stop talking to the water, Ebi. It will start talking back one day." They dreamed simple dreams, a strong boat, a house for their mothers, enough money so nobody in the village would ever go hungry again. They didn't know the future was already watching them. Wait guys, if you are enjoying this story, kindly tap on the subscription button below to show you love and support. Now sit tight and let's continue. Smile. Low rumble of engines, metal clanging, uneasy drums. The 1990s brought something the villagers had never seen. The iron giants. Trucks as loud as thunder. Rig towers taller than palm trees. Foreign men with hard helmets and smiles that never reached their eyes. The elders said the river whispered warnings, but nobody listened. People needed money. People needed work. So when the oil company called for laborers, Ebi stepped forward. Kofi followed him on the same day. "I will buy you a lantern that never dies," Ebi told his mother as he left, pressing her wrinkled hands to his forehead. She smiled, but her eyes held the kind of fear mothers hide behind hope. Rhythmic clanging, oil pump sounds, distant sea wind. The oil rig was a world of metal and sweat. Heat cracked the air during the day, cold beat at the skin at night. Ebi and Kofi worked side by side, climbing steel ladders, turning valves, tightening bolts. They laughed together, fought together, dreamed together. But sometimes, on quiet night, Ebi would hear the river whisper, a slow, troubled rumbling under the waves, almost like a warning. He told Kofi. Kofi just shrugged. "My friend, this river talks too much." But the truth was, Kofi heard it too. He just refused to believe anything bad could happen while they stood together. They thought they were unbreakable. They thought the river would always be kind. They were wrong. Deep bass, wind rising, then sudden silence. It began with a sound, a long, low groan from deep inside the rig, like a giant waking from a nightmare. Ebi looked up, so did Kofi. Then, the world exploded, a roar that shook the sea. Fire shot upward like a furious spirit. Metal bent and screamed. Workers ran, stumbling, blinded by smoke. Black crude gushed into the ocean like the river itself was bleeding. Ebi coughed, choking on the fumes, stumbling over fallen steel beams. "Kofi!" he shouted into the firestorm. Through the thick smoke, he saw him. Kofi was running back into the collapsing structure. Two workers were trapped, pinned under twisted metal. "Kofi, come back!" Ebi bellowed. But Kofi never listened when someone needed help. He disappeared behind the flames. And then a monstrous crash. The ceiling fell. The fire swallowed everything. Ebi's scream rose above the blaze. A cry so full of agony the river itself seemed to echo it. Then nothing, only fire and grief. Slow flute, gentle rainfall. Days passed, weeks passed. The river changed, fish floated belly up. The water stank of oil and sorrow. Ebi wandered the river banks every night, holding his old lantern, calling Kofi's name. Some nights he swore he heard footsteps. Other nights he thought he saw a silhouette in the fog, but it was only the river playing tricks on a broken heart. One night an old fisherman stood before him, eyes tired, beard white as river foam. The river does not take good men easily, he said. Sometimes. It hides them until it is ready. Ebi frowned. I don't understand. You will, the old man whispered, and he placed something small in Ebi's hand. A carved wooden fish, a charm of protection. Before Ebi could speak, the fisherman vanished into the darkness. Ethereal humming, water softly swirling. Far from the village, deeper than any fisherman dared to paddle. Kofi opened his eyes. He lay inside a hut made of woven palm leaves. The room glowed faintly blue. A woman stood over him, her hair wrapped in silver cloth, her eyes glowing like moonlit water. I am Mama Nengi, she said softly, guardian of those saved by the river. Kofi tried to sit, but pain shot through his ribs. Mama Nengi placed a hand on his chest. Rest, child. The river brought you to us. Fire tried to claim you, but the water had other plans. She healed him slowly, with glowing stones, with river herbs, with chants older than the village itself. At night, Kofi had something in the water outside. A deep presence, huge, gentle, watching him. Sometimes he felt it inside his dreams. A voice. You're not finished. Thunder, rising percussion, whispers of wind. Months passed. Back in the village, the river turned red, glowing, alive in a frightening way. The elder said, the river mother is awake. Fear swept through Ogoniland. And then, a storm arrived. Not an ordinary storm. One that roared like an army. Rain hammered rooftops. Palm trees bent like bowing servants. Inside his small home, Ebi clutched his lantern. Its flame danced violently. A sudden knock shattered the night. Not gentle, not human. 3 booming strikes. Ebi froze. His breath caught. His skin chilled. The lantern flickered, glowed red, then steadied. He stepped to the door. Slowly, Whitey opened it. Lightning tore open the sky, and for a moment the world held its breath. Because standing in the doorway, soaked, shaking, alive, was Kofi. Ebi's knees buckled. Tears spilled down his face. He touched his friend's cheek to make sure he wasn't touching a ghost. Kofi, he whispered. Kofi gave a tired, trembling smile. The river saved me. But his voice held something ancient, something that was not entirely his own. Soft chanting, harmonious female choir. The villagers poured into the streets, crying, laughing, kneeling, touching Kofi's hands to make sure he was real. And from the shadows, Mama Nengi appeared. Her staff glowed faintly blue. She looked at Ebi, then at the river. Your friend was protected by the river mother, she said. When the land is wounded, the river keeps warriors alive. Kofi lifted his shirt, and the crowd gasped. There on his chest was a faint glowing spiral, like a tide frozen in light, a mark of the river, proof he had been touched by magic, proof that hope was not dead. Warm, uplifting music. When Ebi finally earned enough money, he kept his promise. He bought his mother a grand lantern, bright, sturdy, and beautiful. But beside it, he placed the old one, the one he carried through every night of grief. That night, both lanterns glowed with the same soft red shimmer as the river. Mama Nengi smiled knowingly. The spirit walked among you tonight. Slow crescendo, choir builds, river ambience returns. From that day forward, a new story traveled across Ogoniland, a story of two boys who stood against fire and fate, a story of a river that remembered courage. And the villagers whispered, "If you lose someone to the fire, do not stop calling their name, for the river remembers the hearts that burn bright." Ebi and Kofi became guardians of their land, teaching the children to respect the water, protect the soil, and honor the spirits who protect them. And the river watched, the river listened, the river healed, because it knew its sons had returned. And so, in the heart of Ogoniland, where the waters glow with memory, a lantern still burns. Two lanterns, in fact. One for the boy who made a promise, and one for the friend the river refused to let go. This is their story, the story the river will remember forever. Thank you for watching. If you like the story and want more historical true life stories, Africa, Nigeria story from any state, or want more mysterious stories, kindly subscribe, like, and comment what you would like to see more on our channel. Thank you for staying with us. We love you. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.